Hey guys, it's Mike here again with Viper Paranormal. Today I'm going to show you how to start your own ghost hunting group. A good way to get your foot in the door is to check on the internet for groups in your area and see if they're accepting new members. If not, this is okay too, because this video isn't about how to join a group, it's how to start your own. The first step in starting a paranormal group is finding members. You can use your friends, or you can check on the internet for people in your area who share the same interests. This is a great way to get a group together. Now that you have your members together, I'm sure you probably want to go out and spend a whole lot of money on equipment and start investigating as soon as possible. And this is great, but first you want to gain a little bit of knowledge about the paranormal world. I recommend this book. It's How to Be a Ghost Hunter. It's by Richard Southall. I know the title's pretty cheesy, but seriously, this has a lot of good stuff in it. And this is actually the first paranormal book that I read from cover to cover. Just don't tell anybody. Another great book is Ghost Science. This is actually the second installment. The first one was called Ghost Tech. It's by Vince Wilson. You can pick both of these books up probably in your public library. If not, you may have to order them online, but it's definitely a good investment for any beginning ghost hunting team. Okay, now we've got our members together. We've read up on some literature, and we have a little more paranormal knowledge. Now let's go out and get some ghost hunting equipment. I know what you're thinking. How am I supposed to afford all this stuff? Well, to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff that you see on the television shows, you really don't need this stuff. A lot of the stuff that you need for paranormal investigation, you very well may already own. Okay guys, let's talk about some equipment now. The first piece of equipment I'm going to show you is the paper and the pen. What do I need this for? Well, it's simple. When you're investigating, you're going to want to record information from clients' claims to activities that are happening while you guys are investigating, when it happened, what time. Keep a log of all your investigations on a sheet of paper and a pen. Very inexpensive. The next piece of equipment you may already own, you may have to go out and buy, but you can get these very inexpensive. And as far as we're concerned, this is one of the most important pieces of paranormal equipment to own. The voice recorder. Now you can use an analog voice recorder with a mini cassette tape, or you can use a digital. As far as we're concerned, one is no better than the other. Except with the digital recorders, a lot of those come with a USB jack on the side, and what this is going to do, it's going to allow you to plug it into your computer so you can upload your audio very, very quickly. Otherwise, you're going to have to plug it into the headphone jack and run it through your computer and run it through in real time, and it can be very time consuming. The next piece of equipment we're going to look at is one that you may already own. A camera. This is a digital camera. It's a Nikon Coolpix. We use these for investigating to try to capture pictures of anomalies. You can also use 35mm cameras. They work just as well. Some say better. With the digital camera, you've got the option of plugging this in and loading these pictures onto your computer, which is great. I wouldn't recommend using a disposable camera because they're cheaply made and you get what you pay for. Also, camera phones, they're not so great. The resolution isn't very good, so I would recommend either the digital camera or the 35mm camera. Now, the next piece of equipment we're going to talk about is a little less important than the first three, but it's very nice to have these, and that's the electromagnetic field, or EMF meter. Now, what's the purpose of this? Well, some theories suggest that spirits are actually able to give off electromagnetic frequencies, or they are able to manipulate electromagnetic frequencies, and the EMF meter is going to help detect those fluctuations. I have three different lower end meters that we're going to take a look at. The first one is the K2 meter. I'm sure you've probably seen this on paranormal television shows. This detects the electromagnetic frequencies as well as radio frequencies, so you want to be very careful when you're using this for paranormal investigation. Please check out my video, K2 meter versus ghost hunting. It's got a lot of useful information about this tool. The second one we're going to look at is the ghost meter. Now this is great because this has an analog dial on it, and when it's dark and you get an electromagnetic disturbance, those lights are going to light up so you can see it when it's pitch black. Very good tool. Now the last one we're going to look at, you've probably also seen this on the Taps Ghost Hunter show. This is the digital model. It's going to run you about $80. It's a little pricey, but it's a good meter to have. You just want to be careful when you're using it, because if you're bouncing it around, your numbers are going to jump and you're going to get false readings. If you don't want to spend the money on the EMF meter, you can actually make one of your own using an ordinary map compass. I have a video titled EMF detector for under $10. This isn't going to tell you the strength of the field, but it will tell you if there's a disturbance and which direction that disturbance is coming from. So this is also very useful, so make sure to check out that video. The last piece of equipment we're going to look at is more of a bonus than anything. You don't necessarily have to have this, but it's really great to have if you want to investigate the paranormal at night. That's a night vision camcorder. As far as we're concerned, Sony makes the best. We would recommend Sony to anyone curious about investigating the paranormal world. You want to make sure that your Sony camera has the night vision feature on it. It's called Night Shot. Generally, it's going to say it at the top of your camera here. If not, you're going to see it in the product description or on the box. If it doesn't say Night Shot, it's not going to work at night because these use infrared lights as illumination. You can also buy some extra infrared extenders. These are called the SEMA SL20IR. It's a great light. You can get them for under 40 bucks. I've got a video explaining a little more about those. Make sure you check that out. Okay, now I've got some members. I've got a little bit of paranormal knowledge, and I have some kick-ass equipment. What's next, Mike? Well, I'm glad you asked. A lot of people want to start advertising their group, which is great, but before you start advertising that you want to come into people's houses and look for ghosts, you may want to have a little bit of experience first. Now, there's a couple different ways to get some experience in the field. You can break into abandoned buildings and spend the night in jail if you like, but most people frown upon this, and we as investigators frown upon this as well. This is trespassing, and trespassing is illegal. The best place to start investigating is your own house, or your team members' houses, or your friends' houses. This is the best way to get good experience. Even if that house is not haunted, I promise you, you're going to get a lot of knowledge just from investigating a couple times. Even if you don't have any reason to believe that your house is haunted, it's still great to investigate just to get that experience. You're going to learn how well your team members work together. You're going to better learn how to use the equipment. And it's always better to make mistakes when you're practicing than when you're actually out in the field and somebody's watching. Another great place to start investigating are local cemeteries. How do I get in? Well, it's best to check with someone that's working there before you come in, or try to give them a call on the phone. You can usually find the local cemetery numbers in the phone book or on the internet. If there is a no trespassing sign or there's a gate that's meant to keep people out, do not go in, because you're only going to get yourself in trouble. But more importantly than that, you're going to make me look stupid, and you're going to make other investigators throughout the world look stupid, and I promise you, it will ruin your credibility. Now that you've got a few investigations under your belt, I think it's a great time to announce your paranormal group to the world. There's a few ways to do that. You can start your own website, and if you don't want to dig that deeply into it yet, you can actually create some flyers and pass them out locally. On these flyers, you want to include the group's name and a way that they can get in touch with you, whether it be your paranormal website or an email address or a phone number. It's all up to you. Another great way is to make up some business cards. I actually made these business cards on the computer. It's got Viper Paranormal at the top. It's got my name. It's got all my contact information, website info, and on the back it's got a logo, which is really cool. So this is a great way to get your paranormal group out there and get yourself known. Well, guys, there you have it. How to start your own paranormal group. Before I close the video out, I want to say a couple things. Make sure that when you're investigating, you're always honest with your team members. Make sure your team members are always being honest with you. Make sure you're honest with your clients. And most importantly, make sure you're being honest with yourself. I just want to thank you for watching my videos. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact me by email, or you can find us on www.viperparanormal.com. Again, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe.